Richard, that's what, 9 wins out of 10 games for Arsenal this season. Bigger picture stuff. Do you think they're the real deal?
They look really good. They look really lively. They look sharp in what they do. Second half, they probably took their foot off the gas a little bit, but still looked comfortable. I think Bodo were waiting for Arsenal maybe to make the mistake, a couple of errors here and there, but they never came. Arsenal, they weren't as fluid as they were in the first half, but there was no mistakes coming from them. And I just thought they looked comfortable when they brought Jesus and Odegaard on towards the end. They obviously had that little bit more quality and that little bit more threat going forward. And they got the goal, the third goal, to kill the game off. But Bodo had more of the ball in the second half, but Arsenal always looked in control.
Was that by design from Arsenal's point of view? Because before maybe the late flurry in the last 10 minutes or so, there was a spell in that first half. Brian's going to look at Bodo's chances that they created in a moment, but just in general, where Bodo had 60% of the possession in just the second half. Was that Arsenal saying, we feel we can cope with whatever you can do with us, or were Bodo just a bit better in the second half?
I think Bodo had a real go in the second half. They pressed a little bit higher. They put Arsenal under pressure. Arsenal didn't have the same intensity probably in their press after the first couple of minutes of the second half. Nketiah's intensity and speed wasn't there the same as the first half. But I think it's more down to what Bodo did. They played really well. They kept the ball. They passed Arsenal's press, and they created chances, probably just lacked that bit of quality in the final third. But I wouldn't say it was by design by Arsenal. I think it was more of a pat on the back and well played to Bodo, because they really improved in that second half.
And is it a compliment to Arsenal then that, like, we've seen Bodo before, we know they're a decent team that carry a threat, that they rarely looked threatened by them despite the possession they had?
Yeah, I thought Arsenal were always in control, and I think they managed the game very well. Arteta managed the game well. I don't think any of his main players played more than an hour in the match. So he's looking forward, looking towards the Liverpool game, protecting the players. But yet they always looked efficient and allowing Bodo to have that spell. Then they came back strong in the last 10 minutes and got the extra goal to wrap it up and put the scoreline on it that makes it look probably a bit more convincing than it really was in the second half. I agree with Richard. Bodo Glimt played with adventure and courage in the second half and throwing players forward, were prepared to take the chance to leave themselves a bit open in trying to get a goal. It was probably a pity they didn't get a goal given their performance, because it would have rounded off the night for their big support that were down that end of the pitch. I'm sure it cost them a few bob to get down from there to London too.
It's a long way back as well.